Alright, so listen. We've all said it at some point, right? I wish Pokemon were real. It sounds so magical. You and your trusty Pikachu, travelling across the land, meeting new friends, collecting badges, eating endless bowls of ramen, like an anime dream. But have you really thought about what it would be like to actually be born in that world? Not visit, not game mode. I mean born. Like, you pop out the womb, someone slaps your back, and instead of a diaper, they hand you a Pokeball and say, "Get ready, champ." Let me tell you what would actually happen. So it's your 10th birthday. You're expecting cake, maybe a new toy or something, but nah. This is the Pokemon world. Birthdays here mean you're officially old enough to leave your family and start fighting wild creatures for a living. Your mum hugs you and says,
"Sweetie, I packed you 5 sandwiches, some potions, and clean underwear. Have fun wandering the planet alone."
"What? Bro, I'm 10. I can't even spell responsibility, let alone fight monsters with elemental powers." But alright. You go to Professor Oak's lab. The dude hands you a living, breathing animal. Like, here, take this fire lizard with literal flamethrowers growing out of its back. No instructions, no training, just vibes. And then Oak says something like, "Go hatch 'em all," which really means go risk your life in every biome known to man. Forests, mountains, volcanoes, ice caves. Haunted towers. And somehow not die. You walk out of the lab and bam, your rival Gary is waiting. "Let's battle." Dude, I don't even know how to throw the ball yet, and you already want to throw hands. Can I learn what my Pokemon eats first? Anyway, you somehow survive that first fight. Charmander's looking singed. You're confused and low-key traumatized. But whatever. Now you're officially a trainer. So, you head out onto Route 1. Now here's where the nightmare really starts. You're literally 2 minutes into the wild and suddenly Rattata attacks. Then Pidgey, then another Rattata, then some bug catcher kid with a net the size of a satellite dish jumps out from the trees and says, "I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. Wanna battle?" What the hell does that even mean? Every random person you make eye contact with wants to fight. It's like everyone in the world is stuck in Fight Club. And the first rule is to challenge minors. Meanwhile, your Pokemon, let's say it's Charmander, is barely alive. But you have no money for a potion because apparently 10-year-olds can't get jobs. So what do? You walk all the way to the next town with a near-dead flaming gecko in your backpack, just praying Nurse Joy isn't on her lunch break. You finally reach the Pokemon Center. You hand over your battered squad, and bing, 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 they're fine in like 4 seconds. Huh? What just happened? Is this magic? Technology? Blackmail? You ask Joy how it works, and she just smiles like she knows something you don't. That's not comforting, bro. That's how horror movies start. And don't even get me started on tall grass. Why is it always grass? What's in there? Why is it the home of every unhinged creature known to man? There are Zubats waiting to suck your blood, Beedrills that can impale you, Ekans that slither around just hoping to wrap around your face. It's like the grass is alive and angry. And guess what? You can't skip it. You have to go through it. Because apparently roads and sidewalks don't exist here. Welcome to the wilderness, kid. And remember, this is just day 1. You haven't even reached your first gym yet. You haven't seen your first legendary. You haven't dealt with Team Rocket trying to blow up a museum because a fossil looked at them funny. You're 10. You don't have a map. Your phone doesn't work. You're traveling with a team of semi-domesticated battle animals. And the only thing keeping you alive is luck and friendship. Friendship. With creatures that breathe fire and control time. Yeah, sounds safe. And just when you think you've seen it all, the battles, the grass, the chaos, you arrive in Viridian City and hear something terrifying. Team Rocket has taken over the city gym. So now, it's not just forest animals trying to kill me. It's organized crime. Great. So you finally make it out of the tall grass, barely alive, covered in scratches. Your Charmander looks like it just ran through a hurricane. And now it's time to fight your first gym leader. And let me tell you, these people are not okay. Brock, the first guy, he lives alone in a rock gym, surrounded by stone statues and jelly donuts. No family, no hobbies, just rocks. Like, bro, are you okay? You walk in, and there's no hi welcome, no safety forms, no waiver to sign in case your Pokemon explodes. Just a deep voice echoing in the dark like, "You've come to challenge me. Prepare to be crushed." I'm 10. Can we start with a handshake? But no, he sends out an Onyx the size of a school bus, and you're there with a fire lizard that sneezes smoke when nervous. This isn't a battle. It's Pokemon-assisted child endangerment. And somehow, you win. Maybe through pure luck, or Charmander's internal rage. He levels up. Your Pokédex beeps like it just witnessed a crime. And you get a shiny badge that proves you survived rock-based trauma. 1 badge down, 7 to go. Yay. Now let's talk about your Pokemon team. The ones that are supposed to be your besties, right? Let me just say this. You ever think your Pokemon might secretly hate you? Because let's be honest, their lives suck. They go from roaming free in their natural habitat to being captured in a glowing prison ball. They're only let out when it's time to throw hands. No hobbies, no Netflix. Just fight, heal, repeat. And evolution? That's a whole new horror show. You ever watch a Pokemon evolve? They scream, they glow. Their bodies literally morph like some kind of nightmare transformer. Arms where there were no arms, horns, fire, extra eyes, and you're like, wow, beautiful. Bro, that thing is in pain. Imagine if someone forced you through puberty in 12 seconds flat. You wouldn't say thank you, you'd call a lawyer. Some Pokemon even evolve because you love them too much. Like, oh wow, it evolved because of high friendship. What? That's not cute. That's guilt evolution. That's I didn't ask for this energy. And then there are the ghost types. Oh man. Have you ever actually read some Pokédex entries? Let me drop some nightmare fuel on you real quick. Drifloon tries to kidnap kids by making them hold onto its stringy arms. Banette, a possessed doll born from pure hatred. Phantump, a tree stump possessed by the soul of a dead child. Why is this a children's game again? You're out here catching Pokemon and smiling, while half your team could be part of a Conjuring sequel. And nobody talks about this. Nobody warns you. Imagine you're camping in the Pokemon world. It's dark. You light a fire, and out of the shadows comes a Pokemon whose description literally says, lures souls into the afterlife. Bro, I'm sleeping in a Poké Center lobby from now on, not risking ghost possession. And let's circle back to the gym leaders for a second. After Brock, you meet Misty. She's cool, right? Loves water Pokemon. Except she greets you by throwing a giant starfish with eyes at your face. Not a water gun, not a Squirtle, a psychic sea shuriken from space. You win. Barely. Your team is wet, confused, and your Pikachu now flinches at the sound of splashing water. And again, no therapy. Just a badge and a good job, kid. Can someone please call CPS? Oh, and just for fun, while you're doing all of this, Team Rocket is casually trying to destroy the world. These people are not just petty criminals. No. They're blowing up buildings, kidnapping Pokemon, messing with genetics, and in some cases, trying to summon ancient gods. And who do we send to stop them? Not the government, not the military, a child with a hat and a rat. Go stop the terrorist group, Timmy, and don't forget to buy potions on the way. This is how villains win. And just when you think it can't get worse, you realize something horrifying. Your starter Pokemon. Yeah, it's growing stronger, faster, more aggressive. And the way it looks at you kinda makes you wonder. What happens when they stop listening? So you've survived gym leaders who treat kids like gladiators. Your Pokemon are evolving into emotionally unstable beasts. You've been through forests, caves, haunted towers, and somehow, you're still alive. Congrats, legend. But now, you enter the legendary zone. Let me explain. In every region, there's always some ancient creature the size of a skyscraper. Some godlike being that controls time, space, death, or, I don't know, 10 James, gravity or dreams or something. And guess what? Somehow, every single villain in this world is like, let's wake it up. Why? What are you doing, Team Galactic? What's the endgame here? You want to summon a giant demon dragon who lives in a parallel dimension of antimatter because you're bored? And again, the adults, useless. Every professor hears, oh no, the sky is tearing open, and just shrugs. Sounds like a job for that 12-year-old who just beat the grass gym. My guy, this is not a weed problem. This is an apocalyptic rift in space-time. And your only solution is me? Great. So you go through caves and temples, avoid death like 47 times, and then you face the legendary Pokemon. Cue dramatic music. You're standing in front of a creature that shaped the entire universe. And your dumb little Pokeball is like, click, click, click. Gotcha. You just imprisoned a god, and now he lives inside your backpack next to an old sandwich and your gym badge collection. Nothing says balance of nature like shoving a time dragon into your fanny pack. And it's all fine until the cult shows up. Yeah, I said it. The Pokemon world is crawling with cults. Every villain team is just a cult with extra accessories. Team Rocket, Mafia cult. Team Aqua and Magma, weather cults. Team Galactic, space cult. Team Plasma, vegan cult. Team Flare, fashion cult, but make it genocidal T. These people have logos, theme music, matching uniforms, and they're always hanging out in underground hideouts like it's a Bond movie. And again, you, a literal child with trust issues and one traumatized Pikachu, are sent to infiltrate their base, survive the traps, beat 87 grunts, defeat their boss, and somehow save the world. All before lunch. Now, let's talk about something that nobody in the Pokemon world wants to address. Where are the dads? Like, seriously. Think hard. Can you name a single main character who has a father? Nope. Ash, no dad. Red, no dad. You, your mum's always home cooking spaghetti. But dad, missing in action. It's like every child is raised by a single mom and a television. And the one or two dads that do exist, they're gym leaders who straight up abandoned their families to go hang out with machops all day. Bro, you left your kid to live alone in a house full of Tauros just so you could guard a badge. No wonder every 10-year-old snaps and becomes a monster hunter. Also, what even is the economy here? You beat a random guy in the woods and he gives you $1,200. A 7-year-old throws out a Caterpie, and if you win, he gives you more cash than a part-time job pays in 2 weeks. Where is this money coming from? Are battles sponsored? Is there a battle tax? Also, how do Pokemarts survive? You walk in, buy a potion, and leave. But who's supplying all these items? Where are the employees? There's like one dude running an entire shop that sells magical sprays, full heals, Pokeballs, and evolutionary stones. He's the Walmart of miracles, and he doesn't even blink when you say, "I'd like 99 hyper potions, please." I am also Pokeballs. Let's talk about that insanity for a sec. You catch a Gyarados, a 21-foot tall sea dragon with anger issues, and then somehow you keep it in your pocket. Your pants shouldn't even have pockets that deep. It's not technology, it's witchcraft. No way you convince me otherwise. And don't even try to imagine what it's like inside a Pokeball. Like, what are they doing in there? Playing cards, sleeping, screaming? I bet Snorlax treats it like a spa. Meanwhile, Haunter is floating in the void, whispering demonic poetry. So now you've battled gods, stopped cults, and questioned the entire economy, but here's the real twist. After all that, you finally make it to the Pokemon League. The big stage. The Elite Four. The champions. You trained your team. You survived ghost towers and exploding volcanoes. You even caught an immortal phoenix with your bare hands. And now, after everything, you lose to a kid named Kyle with a level 98 Bidoof. So you've climbed every mountain, crossed every haunted tower, punched ghosts with electricity, and somehow made it to the Pokemon League. You're standing in front of the Elite Four. It's dramatic. Music's blasting. Your team is ready. Pikachu's got that murder twinkle in his eye. You win the first match. Easy. Second match, tough, but you pulled through. Third one, kinda sweaty. Fourth, you almost lost your Gengar to a literal sword with eyeballs. And then the champion walks out. They don't say a word. just toss out a Dragonite like it's a warm-up exercise. This is it. Final battle. One shot. Everything you've worked for, and you win. You're crowned champion. The game is over. You did it. Right? Nope. Because here's the thing no one tells you. Becoming champion in the Pokemon world changes absolutely nothing. No mansion, no fame, no royalty treatment. No one even calls you sir. You just go home, back to your mum's house, where she's still watching the same cooking show and asking if you want tea. That's it? You defeated gods, saved time and space, caught a flaming phoenix bird that revives the dead, and your reward is leftovers? Even the Pokemon League treats you like a seasonal employee. 1 week you're the champ, next week some 9-year-old shows up with a cracked out Lucario and takes your spot. So you just fade into history. Like, bro, there's no retirement plan, no elite club of past champions who meet in caves and sip moo-moo milk while laughing about how they traumatized children. Nope. You just get reset back to being a kid with a backpack and way too many max potions. Now let's talk existential crisis for a second. Because once the story ends, you're stuck. In a world where every single day is the same, battle trainers, catch Pokemon, heal them, repeat. You realize you've walked past that same old man with a Rattata like 60 times. And he still says the same line. I like battling trainers. Dude, it's been 3 months. Go home. You start noticing that every Poke Center looks the same. Every town uses the same 4 NPC models. And Nurse Joy? There's no way they're cousins. They're clones. This isn't a world, it's a loop. You're living in a simulation made out of nostalgia and stress. Oh, and you're never allowed to actually finish. You think, okay, maybe I'll take a break. Maybe I'll settle down. Open a Pokemart, date a gym trainer, retire somewhere peaceful. But nope. The next day, some shady guy in a trench coat tells you about a brand new region. There's a whole new continent with 150 more creatures. And they're even weirder now. Next thing you know, you're on a boat to who knows where, with nothing but your old bike and a half-eaten lava cookie. And once again, you're back to battling toddlers with Caterpies, like your entire legendary career meant nothing. Now let's talk about your Pokemon again. ... You've been through war with them. You've caught hundreds. Some of them love you. Some of them are probably planning to overthrow you in your sleep. And yet, you can only carry 6 of them. Where do the others go? Into storage. A digital box. Forever. Imagine catching a beautiful Lapras who saves your life in a storm and then never using it again because your Garchomp is faster in battle. It's brutal. You know what's worse? Even if you want to spend time with all of them, you can't. Because guess what? The Pokemon world only moves when you battle. There's no therapy, no vacations, no beach episodes unless it's followed by a Team Rocket attack. You're stuck in a life where the only way to exist is by constantly fighting. No wonder every legendary hides in a cave. They're done with this madness. Now imagine this. You've caught 'em all, defeated every gym, stopped every evil team. You look around and you ask the scariest question of all. Now what? Because there's no end game, no final level, no closure. You just wander. You run in circles through patches of grass, hoping something shiny appears. You keep chasing that high of the first battle, the first badge, the first victory, but it never hits the same. You're a champion with no throne, a god hunter with no worshippers, just a kid who peaked at 11, and then you wake up one day and realize you never really wanted to be born in the Pokemon world. You just wanted to play in it. You didn't sign up for child labor, monster fights, cults, and collapsing timelines. You just wanted to catch a Pikachu and eat Pokepuffs. But now, you're in too deep. So next time you say, "Man, I wish I lived in the Pokemon world," just remember, you'd be 10 years old, sleeping in forests, constantly hunted by bats and bee swarms, carrying creatures that could destroy cities, and expected to fix society with friendship. Good luck with that, buddy. But hey, if you survived this nightmare of a story, then you're definitely ready for the next one. Wait for my next video. Why it sucks to be born in Gotham City, where therapy is more useful than superpowers. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment telling us what Pokemon you'd want watching you back in a ghost tower. This has been your Pain Parade. Thanks for laughing through the trauma with me. Peace out.